Okay, we are going to talk about a microculture here, but we are going to start with the culture, Latin America. Latin America is a culture located in the center and in South America. We principally speak Spanish and Portuguese in Brazil. We are characterized by being collectivistic, and but I want to talk about my microculture because I'm Colombian. So, okay, Colombia is a country located in South America. It's the only country in South America that has coastlines on both Pacific and the Caribbean Sea. Colombia has real rainforests, forests, jungle, deserts, mountain, beaches, and more. It's basically a paradise. Besides all of that, and because of his geographical position, we have all weathers. Basically, we have like paramos, we have like really cold weather, we have warm weather, we have really hot weather. And okay, besides the weather, we are well known because we have a biodiverse. We are the third country with most biodiverse in the world. Okay, so besides all that, we are going to talk about Colombia as a microculture. So we have certain similar things with the culture and certain difference. So one of these similar things with the culture is that we respect authority and we are like high power distance. So we really respect our older, like I respect my dad, my grandma, all the stuff, and all the old people. And we respect positions. So it is our boss. We like really respect people with power in general. Police officers we are well respect, like people in the government, all the people who has power, we respect that. Other thing what is really similar to the Latin culture is the time. We love relationships, so for that our time, our schedules change a lot. So we usually maybe we are punctual, but we are more time in in whatever we have. We don't have like structured schedules. So other thing that is really important is the family. So family is the most important social unit in Colombia. Even if the main breadwinner is in like really far from home, usually the family takes priority, and it doesn't matter when he is or she is. They trying to be at home to trying to be with their family as much as possible. Usually, Colombians who is living abroad, their families expect them to send money because we're a collectivist culture. We're trying to all family work together to like increase our economic I don't know, like benefits, working together for that. Other thing is usually we trying to not select our degrees or majors, but we are trying to work always for our family. So usually the decision that we make is because we talk with our families first. So one of the values that are most important in Colombia is happiness. So we value happiness a lot. Everybody works in our country to be happy. So happy is something that you work every day to get. So we are the country with more holidays. We're one of the countries with more holidays. I guess we are the second place with more holidays after India. So everything for us is like a celebration. We celebrate a lot. So everything is a party for us. So that's the reason why our secondary values are religion, soccer, and beauty contest. So religion and soccer and beauty contest have something in common. We saw that like a social event. So we go to church because we're going to get along with our friends, neighbors. So it's a social event for us. The church is really aligned with with the decisions that the government makes. So usually you can see in with the with the president is talking. Usually the cleric or the leader of the church is we are Catholic. So usually the highest representatives of the Catholic Church is talking or saying some words in all the events. So Catholic Church is really working along with the government. That's something clear. Other secondary values is soccer. Something that happened in my country and it's like something with the microculture is we don't work. If we are working, we prefer to go to wash again. So usually companies trying to go to work early or we get out of work early just to wash again. So everybody has the yellow shirt, go to work like that. Sometimes companies allow them, even if it's like a business company, they allow to bring your yellow shirt, because for us soccer is really important and we're trying to watch the game if that is possible. So yes, so this is a social event, and all Colombia we call it like the yellow fever, because everybody have a yellow shirt, maybe red or blue, but usually it's yellow. And the last one is beauty. For Colombians, beauty is really, really important. When I say really important is we are the 5th country. We have more aesthetic surgeries. So for plastic surgeries, because it's really important for us to be pretty, and it's something that is promoted in around the country. So usually we have like we have contest in all the country. We have queens, the tomato queen, or we have every fruit in our country has a queen. So that's really important for us. The other thing is Miss Universe is another social event. So we try to be like to watch, to give cheer our Miss Universe or Miss Colombia, because usually we say like the Colombians are the most prettiest girls in the world. So the beautiful woman is in Colombia, and we promote that idea as well. So this is Colombian, don't forget, because I got to talk about that regionalism. We're not really nationalists, we are regionalists. So we're saying like we have different kind of micro subcultures in our microculture, because our geography is like really, we have like these mountains here or cordilleras, so that like impede us to have a really good communication between cities. The other thing what we have about like our communication is really different is we know who is from what subculture or what city. So we have different accents that I'm going to talk about that later, but because of the cordilleras or the big huge mountains, our country is regionalist. That is really different. It's the only country who has we don't have the national identity in comparison with the rest countries of Latin America, but because our communication is really limited. So communication. So obviously we talk about in Colombia we speak Spanish. Maybe we speak more languages because of our indigenous people. It exists some tribes in the country. The first thing what a Colombian is going to ask you is, where are you from? Where is your city? Or where you were born, in what city you were born? Because we are really regionalists. That's basically the thing. And the other thing is because our communication is different. A lot of people have a lot of slangs, depends on the region when you live in or when you are from. So that thing, that question makes us know how we can talk to you. Because obviously some words that I use, like lagarto, that is lizard, for somebody who's in the coast, they are going to think completely something different. And that's really important because when you say lizard to somebody, that means like you are kind of not stealing, but you are like getting a job, not for your, not because you deserve it, if not because you are like doing something else. So that kind of words, our communication is different because of that, and that's the reason why we always ask the region, where are you from? Other thing that is interesting for us, if we have a lot of misunderstanding between regions when we are talking because of the accents. We have different accents and we have different slangs. Sometimes we cause some misunderstandings, and apparently this is just in Colombia because of how regionalists think in comparison with obviously other countries in Latin America. Colombian in the US here. So this is really interesting, this part, because when you talk about Colombia, the first thing what you say is Shakira, older artists like that. But Colombians in the US and in the world are really important. We have James Rodriguez, who is like playing in, is like a well-known soccer player, and he's from Cucuta, if I'm not wrong, from Colombia. It's a city in Colombia. The other thing is I put like a little picture of my classmates when I was in college, and mostly all of them they are around the world. They are working in different companies. So that's it's not just important, just not working in companies in the United States. They are working in companies all around the world. So that's one thing what Colombia is for, the people. And in the picture of Rodolfo Gines, the thing what I really love the most is NASA. I love the NASA and I follow in Instagram and all the stuff. We have a lot of Colombians in the NASA. And it's a really important company, it's a really important institution. So we have Clara Wright, Diana Trujillo, Juan Carlos Martinez, Jorge Pinzon. Anyways, a lot of people working in the NASA, and that's for me is really important because Colombian are really well educated and they are working in other countries and contributing to the progress in the world. So that's amazing. And okay, let's talk about the history. This is like a whole history. So we start obviously with indigenous people. If you know, like later on, the Spanish came to our territory and they conquered it. And in 1810, in July 20, is our Independence Day. We celebrated it's like the independence from Spain. We have a civil unrest or a civil war. So the history in Colombia is basically a lot of wars. For some reason, we don't meet our minds. So we have a lot of wars. We have the civil unrest. Later, they have the National Front Coalition. And later on, after all those wars, is drug cartels. What is, I guess, is if you watch Narcos, you will know that Pablo Escobar, was a drug dealer, an important one in the world. Anyways, you know more. He was killed in the 93, and besides like the drug dealers, all the stuff, we have terrorists that hopefully I feel like they're from the 1965 to the 2017. So this year we signed an agreement of peace that I really hope is completely true. With that FARC, they are terrorists, or they were terrorists that, like the lot of wrong things in the country. But anyways, hopefully it's just history. Important things. So we're really smart. Colombian people are really, really smart and creative. So the first transvenous pacemaker was created for an engineer in the 1958. We have surgical instrument in the 1963. I put these ones because I think like the thing with Colombia is we're really creative. We are really smart. So we make a lot of, things that no everybody knows, but I think it's really important to know. The other thing is we get a gold. Like it's really important for our country. So I guess the Olympics, when we get goals, is really important. Other thing, what is I want to talk about is like we were nominated to the Academy Award for the best foreign language film. It's in Brain of the Serpent. It's a wonderful movie that I really hope you can watch it if you want. It's black and white movie. It's about indigenous people, but it's all the idea about how is the relationship between how we see the life in the modern life and how the indigenous people still see the life is really different. I mean, maybe I'm just talking about the movie, but it's pretty good. Hopefully you can watch it. And the other thing what I want to talk about is we have novels. So we got a novel of, put in Spanish, Premio Nobel de Literatura, the Nobel Literature Prize, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So Gabo made this book, and it's really interesting because it's about Colombia. So you need to read it if you are interested in this microculture. And of course, last year, our Colombian president got this Nobel Peace Prize because he signed the peace agreement with Las FARC. So that's what I'm saying. Hopefully this year is the end of that bad time. My conclusion. So my conclusion is I didn't know a lot of things about Colombia. I'm learning, and I'm still learning. I came from this culture, and this microculture here in the United States is where people, hard workers, were trying, to achieve progress. So I don't know. I love my country, but what I like about my country is we always are thinking to help others, being collectivistic, help us to to think about help our own community, but help the rest of the world. So hopefully we can learn in the United States about that. And I don't know, whatever you want to know, just let me know. And I hope you like this video. Thanks.